Former Raiders, Warriors and Panthers coach and Grandstand League expert Matthew Elliott joins me to talk Origin and more. Matt, first of all, the Origin, Paul Gallen, Brett Morris returning for New South Wales. Are they the X-factor game changers that the Blues need?
Oh, I think they're an absolute boost, obviously, for their experience, but also they get a little bit of strike, particularly with Morris. And Gal does that graft work, the spade work that needs to be done at the Origin level.
And Robbie Farah, it looks like he's going to be fit to play. So New South Wales, is this a combination to fear?
Oh, definitely. Look, we're talking about high-quality footballers right across the field here. Robbie Farah, though, I think needs to run a little bit more in this next game. He had some opportunities created by that huge pack that they've got, and they just didn't quite take it in the first game.
All right, Queensland, Daly Cherry-Evans, he has a couple of tasks here. He's got to fill the boots of Cooper Cronk and also allay the crowd. They'll just support him in the Maroon Guernsey, even though a portion of them felt that he dumped Queensland by staying at Manly.
No, someone reported it that way. Look, the first thing is...
well, he did.
First thing you've got to recognise is he is filling big boots. Cooper Cronk's absence from the team will have an impact. Daly Cherry-Evans' opportunity to have a full, camps training with them. Look, what you've learnt from Daly Cherry-Evans is when the pressure's on him at an individual level, he rises to that challenge, and I know he will again.
So, Cooper Cronk, is he going to be the man, though, to fill the boots? That's the big question.
Cherry, yes. I think they've got it. It's entirely right. It's the right person for it. He's ready for this level of footy. He's proved it on all stages.
All right, let's move on to the club football. And, dizzy stuff last night with Parramatta. They were home and hosed. They put on the dinner suit. It was all over. The comeback from the Cowboys, absolutely incredible. But Parramatta, they'd done all the hard work. They'd put 30 points on the board. It
was astounding. It was it would be a great scientific experiment, if you ask me. Is that the impact of the mind and doubt can have on people, and oppositely on the other side, what confidence can do in such a short period. It was 10 minutes, 11 minutes, Wilco, 5 tries. Come on. I can't believe it happened. North Queensland ended up having to hang on to it for the last 14 minutes. It was just insane.
And the instigator, Jonathan Thurston, ball on a string stuff. A lot of them from kicks too, turning around a tired team. But still, you're entitled to think a team leading can make a few tackles and read a few of those kicks.
When your focus turns from what you need to do to holding on to a result, your focus is not on the game. One person whose focus was spot on was Jonathan Thurston. What an amazing player. It wasn't just his kicks, it was every try they scored in the first half, Parramatta. The first guy there was Jonathan Thurston, and then his team got on the back of what he was able to do. Amazing footballer, just amazing. All
right, the Bulldogs and their victory over the weekend. It did come, and it does present a little bit of a conundrum, doesn't it? With the State of Origin half, reefed off the park, and then the team comes up with the goods. Moses Mbai, he's in form at the moment.
Mbai was fantastic for the entire game, but you cannot deny, Josh Reynolds came on the field and the game changed. It was a little bit of a study of sometimes his enthusiasm gets in the way of his teammates. It's a distraction. This time they just built on it, and it mesmerised St George. I sat there and watched it happen in front of me, and he got Michael Crocker's man of the match from the grandstand team. He was on the field 20 minutes, but such was his impact.
So harking back to the State of Origin, Laurie Daly, he stayed firm. He's gone with Trent Hodkinson. Is this a situation where you bite the bullet and you make a tough call? Obviously not, because he hasn't, but do you think he should have, perhaps?
Well, it is a tough call not to make as well. This guy is really talented, but he's down on confidence. So maybe the selection renews that confidence, but I feel he's got an uncertain future at a club level, and he just is not playing the way we've seen him play in the past. And I feel it's a risk that Laurie's taken, but we'll see if it pays off or not Wednesday week.
All right, let's turn to Penrith. They've looked the goods at times this year, but injuries have decimated the team. They weren't really up to the task against Melbourne.
It was a pretty dour game in the second half as well. Look, Penrith have got a real key issue, and that is injuries, but not just injuries, it's injuries to key players. And affects their continuity right across the park. There's 7 halves combinations they've used during 13 rounds of football. You're just not going to get the results under those circumstances.
And in a sense, do you put the Knights in the same bracket too, with injuries cover or preventing their form? Well, it's tapered right off. The coach, is he under pressure?
No, it's not about the coach. People need to deal with reality here. Jared Mullen and Tyron Roberts, who are their halves combination, are out injured. Kurt Gidley has been in and out of the team all year. When you have that impact to key players, it's so hard to build momentum. You have no continuity. Every training session is like you're dealing with a new team every time. I feel for Stoney.
Matt Elliott, thanks very much for joining us. Good calling on Grandstand.
Thanks, bud.